Today, we're going to explore one of the most recognizable, widespread, and often misunderstood groups of trees in the world, eucalyptus tree. Whether you've walked through a coastal park, driven along a California highway, visited a college campus, or passed a windbreak protecting an agricultural field, you've likely encountered eucalyptus. Their tall trunks, peeling bark, distinctive leaves, and unmistakable fragrance makes them some of the easiest trees to recognize. Yet, despite their familiarity, most people know surprisingly little about where they came from, how they evolved, why they were brought to California, and why they continue to spark debate more than a century after their introduction. To understand eucalyptus, we first need to understand just how large and successful this group of trees has become. The eucalyptus group contains more than 700 species and closely related species, making it one of the largest groups of trees on Earth. Nearly all originated in Australia, where they evolved over millions of years under conditions that would challenge many other trees. Drought, poor soils, intense heat, insect pressure, and frequent wildfire shaped the evolution of eucalyptus, producing trees that are remarkably adaptable and resilient. Today, eucalyptus forests cover vast portions of Australia and dominate many of the country's landscapes. The diversity within the eucalyptus group is extraordinary. Some species grow as low shrubs in harsh desert environments, while others become towering forest giants. One species, mountain ash, is generally recognized as the tallest flowering tree in the world and can exceed 300 feet in height. While California's coast redwoods are taller overall, mountain ash demonstrates just how impressive eucalyptus can be. This tremendous diversity helps explain why eucalyptus has become so successful across the globe. Although eucalyptus originated in Australia, it is now planted on nearly every continent except Antarctica. Countries throughout South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, and North America have planted eucalyptus for timber, paper production, fuel wood, windbreaks, erosion control, and ornamental purposes. Today, eucalyptus plantations cover millions of acres worldwide and represent one of the most important hardwood resources in global forestry. While that worldwide story is fascinating, the reason eucalyptus matters to us is because of what happened when it arrived in the United States, particularly California. During the mid to late 1800s, California was growing rapidly. Cities were expanding, railroads were being built, and concerns emerged about future timber supplies. At the time, eucalyptus appeared to be the perfect solution. Reports from Australia described trees that grew quickly, tolerated difficult conditions, and produced valuable wood. Investors, farmers, and landowners became convinced that eucalyptus could solve California's timber needs. As a result, thousands of acres of eucalyptus were planted throughout the state. Some individuals even speculated that eucalyptus would become one of California's most valuable timber crops. While the trees certainly grew quickly, the timber industry never developed quite as expected. Eucalyptus wood can twist, split, and warp during drying, making large-scale lumber production more difficult than many early investors anticipated. Although many of the original financial expectations failed, eucalyptus succeeded in another way. It became a permanent part of California's landscape. California turned out to be an ideal home for many eucalyptus species. Much of the state's climate resembles parts of southern Australia, with mild winters, dry summers, and periodic drought. These similarities allowed many species to thrive. Today, eucalyptus can be found in urban forests, parks, campuses, agricultural windbreaks, transportation corridors, and coastal landscapes throughout California. In some areas, they have become so common that many people assume they are native trees. Before discussing specific species, it's important to understand how to identify eucalyptus. One of the most noticeable features is the bark. Many species shed their bark annually, revealing smooth surfaces underneath. Depending on the species, the bark may display shades of cream, gray, tan, orange, green, blue, or brown. Some trees shed bark in long ribbons, while others lose large plates or thin flakes. This peeling bark often creates the striking multicolored trunks that make eucalyptus easy to recognize from a distance. The leaves provide another important identification clue. One of the most fascinating characteristics of eucalyptus is that juvenile leaves often look dramatically different from adult leaves. Young foliage is commonly rounded, bluish-gray, and arranged opposite one another on the stem. As the tree matures, many species transition to long, narrow, sickle-shaped leaves that hang vertically. This change, known as heterophyly, is common throughout the eucalyptus group and can make young trees appear completely different from mature specimens. The flowers and fruit offer additional clues. Eucalyptus flowers lack the large petals that many flowering plants possess. Instead, the showy portion of the flower consists of numerous stamens that create brush-like blooms rich in nectar. These flowers attract bees, birds, butterflies, and other pollinators. After flowering, the trees produce woody seed capsules known as gum nuts. The size, shape, and arrangement of these gum nuts often help distinguish one species from another. The species most people think of when they hear the word eucalyptus is blue gum. Blue gum is undoubtedly the signature eucalyptus of California. Introduced during the 19th century, it was planted extensively throughout the state and remains one of the most recognizable non-native trees in California. Blue gum grows rapidly, develops a tall, straight trunk, and can exceed 150 feet in height under favorable conditions. Its long-hanging leaves, smooth bark, and impressive stature make it easy to identify. Many of the large eucalyptus groves found throughout coastal California are dominated by blue gum. Another important species is river red gum. In its native Australian range, river red gum commonly grows along rivers and floodplains, where it experiences both drought and flooding. This adaptability has made it a popular landscape tree in California. River red gum typically develops a broad-spreading crown, attractive bark, and strong tolerance for difficult growing conditions. Its ability to withstand environmental stress helps explain its popularity throughout many regions of the world. Sugar gum is another species frequently encountered throughout California. Known for its drought tolerance and adaptability, sugar gum has been widely planted as a windbreak, shade tree, and landscape tree. It performs particularly well in Mediterranean climates and can often be found protecting agricultural lands from wind. Its resilience and relatively strong wood has contributed to its popularity. One of the most attractive species planted in California is lemon-scented gum. Although botanists now place it in the closely related genus Corymbia rather than Eucalyptus, it remains closely associated with eucalyptus in both horticulture and arboriculture. Its smooth, white trunk creates a striking appearance, and its leaves release a pleasant lemon fragrance when crushed. In warmer regions of California, it is widely planted as an ornamental tree because of its beauty and relatively clean appearance. Another notable species is red ironbark. Unlike the smooth-barked species many people associate with eucalyptus, red ironbark develops deeply furrowed, dark-colored bark that persists on the trunk. It is particularly valued for its colorful flowers, which attract pollinators and provide ornamental interest. While not as common as blue gum or river red gum, it remains an important species in California landscapes. One reason eucalyptus became so successful is its remarkable ability to cope with drought. Many species evolved in environments where rainfall is seasonal and water may be limited for extended periods. Their leaves often hang vertically rather than horizontally, reducing direct exposure to intense midday sunlight. Waxy leaf surfaces help reduce water loss, while extensive root systems allow trees to access moisture deep within the soil profile. These adaptations enable eucalyptus to survive conditions that would stress many other species. Another defining characteristic of eucalyptus is its relationship with fire. Contrary to a common misconception, eucalyptus did not evolve to avoid fire. It evolved to survive it. Many species possess thick bark that insulates living tissue from heat. Others contain dormant epicormic buds hidden beneath the bark. Following a fire, these buds can rapidly produce new shoots and foliage. Some species also develop lignotubers, woody underground structures that store energy and dormant buds capable of producing new growth after severe damage. These adaptations help explain why eucalyptus has persisted in fire-prone Australian ecosystems for millions of years. Eucalyptus trees also provide ecological benefits. Their flowers are rich nectar sources that attract bees and other pollinators. Numerous bird species use eucalyptus for nesting and shelter. Along portions of California's coast, monarch butterflies have been observed overwintering in eucalyptus groves, particularly where suitable microclimates exist. Although eucalyptus is not native to California, wildlife has adapted to utilize these trees in a variety of ways. Beyond ecology, eucalyptus has tremendous economic importance. Globally, eucalyptus is used for paper production, timber, engineered wood products, fuel wood, biomass energy, essential oils, honey production, erosion control, and windbreaks. In many countries, eucalyptus plantations are among the most productive forest operations in the world. Few tree groups have had such a significant impact on modern forestry. Before we conclude, let's briefly talk about eucalyptus from an arboricultural perspective. One of the defining characteristics of many eucalyptus species is their rapid growth rate. While this allows them to establish shade and canopy quickly, it can also lead to structural challenges as the tree matures. Eucalyptus often develop long, heavy limbs with significant end weight, and some species can be prone to bark inclusion, co-dominant stems, and branch attachments that become weak over time. Deadwood accumulation is also common, particularly in mature trees and during periods of drought stress. When pruning eucalyptus, the goal should generally be to establish good structure early in the tree's life and reduce potential defects before they become significant problems. Excessive topping or aggressive crown reduction should be avoided, as eucalyptus often respond with vigorous epicormic sprouting that can create additional structural concerns in the future. Regular inspections, proper pruning practices, and an understanding of species-specific growth habits are key to maintaining healthy, structurally sound eucalyptus trees. Like any tree, successful management depends on evaluating the individual tree, its condition, its site, and its surrounding targets rather than relying solely on assumptions about the species. Perhaps the most important lesson from today's discussion is that eucalyptus trees are far more complex than most people realize. They are neither miracle trees nor villainous invaders. They are a diverse group of species that evolved under unique environmental conditions and have become part of California's history, landscapes, and urban forests. Their story is one of adaptation, migration, human ambition, ecological interaction, and remarkable resilience. The next time you encounter a eucalyptus tree, take a closer look. Examine the bark and notice its patterns. Observe the shape of the leaves. Look for flowers or gum nuts. Consider why that species was planted in that location and how it has adapted to its environment. Every eucalyptus tree tells a story that begins in Australia but continues today throughout California and around the world. Understanding those stories transforms a familiar tree into something far more interesting, a living example of how trees shape landscapes, cultures, and human history.